man.
All
This is
right.
what the punters pay for.
Luke, talk about your team.
But they are who we thought they were.
That's right. They are who we thought they were. State of Origin, obviously, over the weekend on Sunday night. We got the game that we thought the first. This is shades of 2020 all over again, where we're like, oh, okay, this is definitely the. Was it 2020? The season where it was like, well, it was like this is the team we're gonna get, and then we didn't get it, and then we got it in the second game, and then we lost the third. I still think that's what's going to happen this week. Or next week? Is it next week, the game? Week after. But let's just quickly talk about the second game. They were nothing short of dominant. I think there's not even another word to put it. And every argument that I've heard from Queenslanders in the last couple of days always ends up with...
Not from me.
Not from you, Timmy. You've been very quiet. And I'm not aware of that.
But they are who we thought they were.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree completely with you. But yeah, from everything that's, but because of this or da-da-da. And it's like, well, it was the possession. It was the fact that that New South Wales was so dominant. They were able to retain the possession. They were able to keep the, Queensland weren't able to get off the line almost. They looked meek because of the way that New South Wales played the game, which caused them to do that. I don't think it was as much Queensland played poorly as much as New South Wales didn't let them into the game whatsoever. And and just got the roll on. And then that was what was defeated. What was really terrible, I guess, or as a Queenslander, I'm sure you were probably what were you most disappointed as a Queenslander?
I mean, the 54 missed tackles. But let's get into some stat chat because this is a good.
It is a good. We're talking about the good. Let's talk about the good. You're right.
60% possession.
That's huge.
That's it's quite significant
over the course of 80 minutes.
80 minutes.
Yeah.
73% of the game was played in Queensland's half. And I reckon
that's so
the last
3/4.
The last, 55 minutes, the entire game bar one set of 6.
Yep.
For 55 minutes was played in Queensland's half.
Yeah, DCE I think managed to get a couple of kicks to the 30 maybe.
And then they got a square up penalty at the end, and that's when Harry Grant dropped it with 10 out. No team, no matter how good they are, will never win.
No.
54 missed tackles is probably the thing you're most disappointed with.
Yeah.
Missed tackles equals lack of effort usually, but I just think that they were so cooked.
They were gassed. They were absolutely gassed.
So cooked because they had
all that defensive
10
work
errors. It was just the telling point was obviously the sin bin, and I'm
stand on what side of the fence, Tim?
I'm on. That was a fair call.
Yeah,
I don't actually agree with the Val Holmes escort. I thought that was pretty soft.
Oh, come on!
But the six agains,
he looks him dead in the eye and wanders into his path and then gets hit. I mean,
but he's walking back to the ball. Like
if he kept his eye, if the
I don't think he changed his line.
What was the intent? We're back to the where's the
it's
digger?
Lifestyle.
Was Val trying to get a lifestyle across?
But that happens on every bomb.
Yeah, but it should be a penalty every time. It's just whether or not it's getting picked up. The fact that he turned his head and went, right, I'm going to square him up, and walked in the path, it was as close to the line.
Yeah, see,
but he
didn't change his line.
No, he didn't. But he made a line knowing that it was like, well, this is going to come in. I'm going to impact his line.
Is he a physics major or is he Big Val?
Yeah, the Big Val. That's it. Well, he wasn't doing anything else.
Val's short for velocity.
Very good.
But all of those six agains was literally just baiting Ashley Klein to be like, you're not going to send us.
So was it, two? Was it two? And then
it was like 6.
A few, and then you had that Big Val, and then the last one was already a penalty, and then Kafusi's just goes, I'm just going to lie on him a little bit more and push him. And then everyone's blowing up. Like, what are you talking about? Since the game, since the last 30 years, that has always been a sin bin.
Oh, yeah. I mean, in the rules of the 6 again era, that you just can't have 5 in the 20.
No.
You just can't.
And they're like, I should have got a warning.
Deliberate. No.
But the warning was the fact that you were given them, and you know how to play this game.
Well, the warning,
know what happens.
Captain Rugby League said, no, there's no warning.
There shouldn't be any warning.
Because then that means you've got to stop the game, and then Cam Smith comes out and does the 20-minute chat.
Yeah.
That's gone. And that's the whole point of the 6 again. So I don't think that was fine. And to all the New South Wales people who blamed Ashley Klein for his poor refereeing in game 1, Ashley Klein did not cost Queensland the game in Game 2.
He didn't cost New South Wales the one in the first either.
Despite the fact that both games have been refereed horrifically.
Terribly.
But it's not the reason that either team has won or lost the game.
It just is.
So that's why it becomes a non-story.
Yes, I agree.
54 missed tackles, but New South Wales just had the foot on the throat and just never let up. And to me, while it was a slower game,
yes,
it was clear that New South Wales were just...
Yep, they were humming.
Just goes back to the fact, and you won by 30, and I'm still going to say it, you don't fucking get it. you win.
Hang on. New South Wales won the under-19s women's, men's, the women's
but Freddie,
and the men's game.
Mate, he had
all four. All four games. What do you mean New South Wales don't get it? We won all 4 games.
He had to make 7 changes.
Yeah,
like,
I know.
How the fuck?
I don't understand
how
you can do
bad.
that.
Like,
yeah. How about can you fuck it up the first time? Yeah.
This should be over.
Yes. This is
Like
the team that should have picked up the first game.
2020. You know, like
exactly the same thing. Which is why I think we're looking at a 2-1 Queensland victory because we'll manage to bottle it in Game 3.
I don't know.
This is a look. The difference was in the first game they got it wrong with the selections and they got caught napping and fucked up by Queensland. The second game they got it right. Here we go. You know, we put almost 50, and there's a very good chance we go to Queensland and 55. How many? 55,000.
52.5.
52,500 Queensland rabid supporters is going to be that'll bring that level back to even pairing almost. You know, almost that gives Queensland that extra boost. So we're going to get a great game.
Oh, it's going to be a cracker.
Knows?
Obviously,
who knows what we get?
Appy Coruscant out of dummy half, giving them
wasn't that nice?
The different options. Maddie Burton.
I was about to say.
How many times on the last tackle did Appy fake it to Cleary and the markers all start running
that one,
and then go no to Cleary. And then by the time we were cooked, we couldn't get any pressure on. Cleary had fucking 5 seconds before he kicked it. Like, that's how you do it.
Yeah, there was that bit where Luai ran like 15 meters before he had to kick the ball. I was like, oh my God. Like you could see him. He was like,
so cooked.
He was like, I'll just take a couple more then, I guess. Like, it was at that point.
Well, that try that Luai scored, he just walked through a gap of
literally
2 people
turnstile.
who couldn't
do anything.
They were just
done.
Gassed.
Absolutely done. Just a big, as far as Origin debuts go, Matty Burton.
I mean, is it Adam Mogg level?
It's not Mogg. I mean, he's not Adam Mogg. Nobody is Adam Mogg.
In BD history.
Mogg. You will need to hit it with a whip. That's the only way to de-escalate the situation.
Contain
Mogg. But Matty Burton. I would love to see the stat on that bomb he put up. That even
still coming
the camera is dead set. The camera like panned out, and it was like seconds.
You couldn't see the ball.
Seconds before the ball came back into frame. Let alone there was no one catch. I've never seen the ball get hit that like. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. But you said it last week. The biggest, well, not the biggest, but one of the big differences
one of the reasons they lost
because everyone knew that the ball was going to Cleary. Now all of a sudden you've got someone on the left who's got a big boot, and the difference, mate, that made Burton can't lose his spot. Surely.
Well, that's a great question.
Change. Do you think they'll be making changes into Game 3? If I'm Freddie, you pick it. The team nearly should have put 50 points on this, and you're going to change it? You're out of your mind. Like you are out of your mind. Stick and pick. Oh, tell me that someone has written in and said that that's not the case.
I'm just saying,
stepping on something?
I was just like, well, you couldn't pick the fucking first team. So, let's not rule anything out here. Depends how much gear Freddie's had.
That's right.
But yeah, I just think, the things that we spoke about in the first game as to why New South Wales lost, they
rectified.
Not only countered it, they turned those changes into their advantage.
Yes.
And they were 1 meter away from or tying it up and taking it to Golden Point, of which they would have won in Game 1. And they make the necessary changes and
they put on
rectify the 3 main issues that they lost.
And managed to keep Queensland scoreless in the second half, and they never looked like scoring. Not even once.
Never had the ball in our attacking half.
Absolutely suffocated.
Exactly.
So that's it was an excellent performance and should have been what New South Wales should be putting up every year. For this is the caliber in this era. This is what they can do. Well, where is this every game? Because it should be the norm. Teddy he literally had spiders on him. Absolutely just ran rover. He's getting himself well and truly invested in the game a lot more than he did in game one. It just looked like they had lots more options this game round, and Queensland looked super gassed. Just they were done. There was that bit where Ponga got stepped towards the end, and one of the tries got scored. And he just looked up. He was like, "I'm done. Like I can't."
Dead set. Well, I mean, he made 4 try-saving tackles in that. That last passage in the first half. I mean, it could have been 80.
Yes,
if he didn't make those tackles.
And then let a couple of soft ones in towards the back end. But either way, it was good to see from a New South Wales perspective, a team actually fulfill what it should be able to do. So who knows what we get in game 3. Really looking forward to it. We'll talk about that in a couple of weeks' time.